It's definitely cop talk. It's not going to work. Would you let him know, Livy?
Yep.
Hey, want to apologize, everybody. Webkin tonight looks like it's not accepting the profile. That's okay. Come on over on Rumble, come over on Facebook, and wherever else you watch our show, and come say hi. Michelle Esquenazi is in the house. She is, well, everything about bail bonds you could ever want to know, you're about to find out, which we are very excited about. We're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff tonight. My gosh. Calls are going to be on hold for the first hour. And then donations will be open, but we won't be posting them until later. Right now, you can listen to Still Point, the Don't Unfriend Me band. Go catch them in Georgia. Catch them on Spotify, iTunes. They do all of our music, and they rock. 30 years of rock medley plus, all in one great song. Take a listen. If you liked hearing about Still Point, you can find them, STIILPOINT, social media. Go see them. Wimkin followers. Sorry we're not on tonight. We'll repost it. We'll get it in post. Go over to wimkin.com. Sign up. 9 million followers. Free speech, 100% uncensored. That didn't work out. That didn't work out. I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I think I mucked the ending. Folks, go over to Wimkin. Wimkin.com, 100% uncensored social media. 9 million users, can't be wrong. Go be one of them. If you don't, God will kill a puppy. That's better. Better. Sandy Olquist, I see you. Sandy Olquist, I see you. You know, you might be amazed that a site that has 76 million people in the last week interact with it, and I remembered your name because I know you asked, hey, what time's the Dumb Show come on? And then somebody said, hey, 7 o'clock Eastern, and here you are. I'm watching you.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Sandy. Welcome. Yes, Jeff, this is Still Point again.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, start
Hollandaise sauce, if you want to get banned, say Riz one time tonight. That's all I'm going to tell you, dude. One time.
Hey guys, Barry Morgenstein, America's headshot photographer, coming to you from my New York City studio. Great friend of the Dumb Show. It is now time to put down the camera because it's almost 7 p.m. and I'm gonna watch the coolest, the most real and raw show on the internet. It's on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the coolest guys, Matt, Olivia, Leroy, and Amy. You guys have to tune in to see it. It's gonna be something incredible every night. Check it out.
Not another commercial. Jeez. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I am proud to announce that the Documents of Freedom are back in stock. It's a 3-book collection, leather-bound, by Arcadia Publishing. Starts out with the Bill of Rights, and it's the complete edition of the rights, so you can look up and reference anything your heart desires. Declaration of Independence. Hey, John, do me a favor. We've covered the covered the Charlie Kirk assassination plenty. I think people want to move on. So I would appreciate it if we could stop being so graphic in chat. I'm not going to entertain a bunch of snipers and special forces guys who make videos and say things that are ridiculous. I've seen the same videos you have. We put one of them on last night. Let's just move on. Okay. And if any other information comes out, I'll cover it. But just for everybody's sake of trying to get up and get some fresh air, we're going to go ahead and move on tonight. Great. With revisions and founder images included, beautifully illustrated. And last but not least, what would Documents of Freedom be without the Constitution of the United States of America in its entirety? The box is handmade by PFC Flags, custom engraving, all 100% made in the USA from the nails to the glue. And we have a 5-star rating, satisfaction guaranteed, 150 sold 5 stars or better. It is so important, especially in today's society, to ensure that the younger generation has these books available in the future. Get them for your family and friends, available right now. Head on over to thedumbshow.com/books.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? James, I got your question. We'll do it later tonight.
That's what I was just texting him.
Yeah. Yep. Suit myself. I will suit myself. It's my show, my dime, my nickel. I'm going to suit myself. Thanks so much for giving me permission to do what I want on my show, John. Have a good night. So everybody, listen, we have got a special guest in chat, and she is, it's going to be a good conversation for sure. I will do what I always do, the bio. And everybody gets one. And if they come on our show, it's going to be a flag soon. Like, we want to, if you come into the studio, we get you a wooden flag like the ones you see here. But until then, you get a bio because we're cheap. Michelle is the president of the National Association of, do you just want to bring her in so she doesn't have to be uncomfortable? Yeah, let's embarrass her. Like, let's get her on. There we go. There, we can embarrass her properly. What are we keeping you in the green room for? Michelle is the president of the National Association of Bail Agents. It's known as NABA.
Right.
NABA. I nabbed him. Was that on purpose?
Kind of, not sort of.
Sounds good, though. Let's just say it was. And the CEO of Empire Bail Bonds, not to be confused with Empire Records, not the same thing, even though they probably keep records, of the one of the New York's most successful bail bond companies with close to 30 years in business. She has earned national respect as an expert in bail, accountability, and justice reform. In 2007, she founded the New York State Bail Association, giving bail professionals a unified voice in state policy for the first time. From there, she rose to national leadership, helping to establish and now preside over NABA, where she represents bail agents across the United States. She has testified before lawmakers, partnered with legal experts, and consistently fought to block reckless bail reform policies that she argues put public safety at risk and strip victims of their rights. Michelle is not only a business leader, but also a passionate advocate for justice. She has appeared in major media outlets, spoken at national conferences, and been featured a voice in the debates over crime and justice reform. Her leadership style blends sharp business acumen with grassroots advocacy, making her one of the most recognized and outspoken defenders of the bail industry in America. Beyond her professional life, Michelle is a proud mother of 4, bless you, grandmother and a lover of Cuban cuisine, often cooking for her family and sharing her heritage through her food. Known for her fire, wit, and unapologetic approach, Michelle has earned her nickname the Bail Bond Queen, but by never backing down when it comes to fighting for justice, accountability, and the safety of American communities. Michelle, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for that amazing
It's
bio.
over. It's over. Everyone knows everything about you. So thanks for coming.
I loved it.
No, listen, what did we miss? I mean, tell us a little bit about you and what did we not cover in the bio, and would love to kind of just hear what you're doing, what's keeping you busy, and all that type of stuff.
You know, what's keeping us busy right now, me busy right now, is our amazing president of these here United States of America, President DJT. He is so wise and he has so much common sense. And recently he brought up cashless bail and what a debacle it's been throughout the United States of America. And it takes a guy, like I always refer to myself as a kid from Brooklyn. He's a kid from Queens, right over the border. And it takes somebody who grew up in New York City to have that kind of common sense. And I'm just so incredibly grateful and obliged. And so is our entire profession.
What do you think the major difference is? I think we understand between presidents, there's a huge difference between Biden and Trump. But when it comes to the conversation of criminality and where the United States was going with 8 years under Obama, 4 years under Biden, which showed progressive DAs coming in, crimes not being charged. We're going to go over some graphs tonight that talk about how the right is the most violent people as far as political parties versus the left, which is a complete canard and not true in any way, shape, or form. I can talk about it tonight, and I'm sure you can give us some evidence of that. But what is it, do you think, that is the big change between President Trump and Biden and how they handle the crime element inside the United States today?
I think it's pretty easy, to be honest with you. I think Biden was a criminal recidivist lover, and President Trump can't stand them. He wants them to either go to jail, he wants them to either be released on secured bail practices, or he wants the EDPs, emotionally disturbed people, to get put back into psychiatric institutions where essentially they belong, right? You know, they're attacking us, they're raping us, they're killing us, they're stabbing people. And that's because they don't have their antipsychotics, right? They're just homeless, and that, you know, criminal justice reform said, oh, I have a really good idea. Let's just release them all and just put them into the street. That'll work.
Yeah, it seems to be that New York seems to be like the bone of contention in the center for a lot of this debate, and it would make sense considering the size of it. Different than Los Angeles, the rural areas, it's really a state of haves and have-nots. And when you look at New York, what do you think when you hear about bail reform? How dangerous is that to a city of New York's size?
Oh God, it is so sad because, you know, me and my family, we grew up in New York City, right? So we were able to take the trains as kids. We used to go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We were 15 years old, right? I mean, my daughter's going to be 24 years old any minute, and I have a heart attack when she takes the train into the city.
Yeah.
I don't even want her to go into the city without bounty hunters, to be honest with you. It's just a different world. And we knew that that was going to happen. And when I say we, I mean collectively. It was the bail industry, the district attorneys associations, the cops, you know, the court officers, the clerks. We all lobbied together with, you know, to Don Cuomo at the time when he was our governor. And we said, hey, like, we know you want to do this, and we think this is the best idea in America, and it's incredibly Soros funded. But how about you do it slow? How about you roll it out so that there's not some sort of huge crime victim pool? And they were like, Fungul, that's not what happened.
If you haven't watched Sopranos, it'll help in this conversation. Just trust me, it'll get you to point it. I've already used it like 7 or 8 times since we started having our conversation. Critics say that bail is unfair to the poor because there's, because of obviously disparity when it comes to financial hardships and equity and inclusion and all that crap. When bail really is based upon the severity of the crime, the flight risk, and some other factors. So first, if you could tell me what is your argument to that listen, it's not necessarily this because this is what it provides, and second, what are the qualifications for a judge to make that decision on where the bail should be set at?
Well, it's a really good question. And I think everything that you just repeated about affordability and about people lingering in incarceration because they can't afford bail and yada, 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 yada. Those are all Democratic branded talking points. They're like in the Democratic branded talking point book. It's on page 1. So they're not stealing a crust of bread. They're not losing their jobs because, newsflash, criminal recidivists don't have jobs. Their jobs are to be criminal recidivists. And the fact of the matter is that if they're incarcerated and the judge has decided to set a bond, sometimes, even if the family can afford to make the bond, they don't want little Johnny out of jail. They want little Johnny to stay in jail because he is a menace to society and he's robbing and burglarizing and doing all kinds of things, and he's addicted to narcotics. And their only chance of potentially getting him to rehab is incarceration. So that's a conversation that the left simply will not have, nor will they have the victim conversation. That's off the table. They will not have that conversation.
When we're talking about recidivism and the tendency to recommit crime, do you feel that New York has a higher propensity of that happening because of the progressive policies that really have infected the city over the last 20 years?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have all these guys that, you hear it every single day when you see the news. Oh, this guy was arrested 211 times. This guy was arrested 163 times. And that's because years ago, when they would go before Your Honor, let's say they're constantly stealing, stop signs. Let's say he's the stop sign stealer, right? And he's going before the same judge over and over and over again. Maybe the first 3 times Your Honor is going to release him. But by the 4th time, the judge is going to use his discretion and say, you know what? I'm going to have you held. It's a $10,000 bond. But now, because of mandatory release practices and because that's a, quote, non-violent felony, along with many other felonies that are really like insulting and intrusive and really shouldn't be, they're aggressive and they shouldn't be classified as non-violent. But I'm using the stop sign guy. So the stop sign guy eventually would have gotten a bond. But what they did was the legislative branch usurped the judicial branch and took away their power and said, hey, now you're going to do things the legislative way. You can make decisions about child custody. You can make civil court decisions every single day of the week. You can do every other decision within the realm of the black robe, but you cannot make bail custody decisions anymore. Now we're going to do that.
Is that specifically to the state of New York?
No, there's a lot of states whereby bail reform has been implemented and judicial discretion has been usurped.
Was that done through legislation?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that argument, it's almost like, if you look at places like Philadelphia, you look at places like Georgia, you look at, go ahead, buddy, have fun. Be safe tonight. Hey, locked door, stay frosty, flashlight. Got it? Ethan, keep your head up out there when it's night. You hear me? Thank you. And you look at some of the states when it came to 2020 election and what they did. And judges literally used executive power through COVID to change the election process, which actually it's unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. You have to follow it through the state's constitution. And of
Sure.
course, everyone cried foul and said, oh, we didn't know, or hey, it's COVID. These are emergency powers. But obviously they do when they're actually having to pass legislation to override the state's constitution. And in this case, they are. Is this all just a big game? I mean, is that what it is? Is it because, you know, the one thing that you hear more than anything from Democrats is, you know, people are suffering. They're inclined to commit more crime because they're put in positions of systemic racism. But we know that's not true. Is this a game? Is this just for votes? Is it a power struggle? I mean, nobody wants this shit in New York. Nobody wants this. When Giuliani was in there, this stuff wasn't like this. What
No,
is it that this keeps happening?
Giuliani and Bernie Kerik cleaned up Times Square. It was so wonderful. We were able to like walk through Times Square. It was such a nostalgic time. You know, now I wouldn't go to New York. I mean, you couldn't pay me to go to the city unless, I don't know, unless I had to go, I'm not going, you know, just not doing it anymore. So, I mean, it's, yes, it is a game. It's a dangerous game. And what happens is the politicians, they're professional politicians, right? They don't really care about their constituents. I'm going to tell you something. When this started in New York, it was 2012, long before bail reform was a kitchen table topic. And I went up to Albany. I was kind of told by a senator friend of mine that I should probably come up there because there was these bail reform people walking the halls. And I was like, well, all right, I don't know, you know, whatever. And I went up there and I thought, well, this is going to be easy. These are politicians. I mean, there's a fundamental difference between right and wrong. You don't send your kids out on the highway to play football. It's pretty simplistic. It's like bipartisan issue, right? Whoa, did I not know what was going on? I had no idea that politics were about money. I mean, I certainly do now, but I didn't know then.
When you look at New York being and then we've got some viewer questions, and Olivia is going to throw those out here. When you look at New York as obviously a hot topic for you right now, we also know that the mayoral race is going to actually set the tone for the next 4 years in this thing if they put Mandani in. I mean, it's like we will never go to a Broadway play. We will never see the Rangers and the Avalanche play. I'm just not going to do it, and I won't go to New York, and I don't go to DC for the same reason.
Right.
Now I will. But out of all the hot spots right now, is New York your number one focus, or what is the number one state that you are worried about that's kind of under the radar where you're like, things are getting dicey, and it's probably, even though it's not going to be as large and profound as New York, but it's going to, you know, one city can decimate the entire state because of the things that they're doing and seeing these progressive policies erode the city and state.
Such an insightful question.
I know, I'm really good at it. Thanks.
Amazing, really, because nobody's ever asked me that question, and I've been asked a lot of questions. Yeah.
It's okay.
Houston, Texas is destroyed.
Yes.
Charlotte, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. Obviously, some of the ones that you mentioned: Chicago, Philadelphia.
Baltimore.
Baltimore is Murder City.
God,
Baltimore is a place no one should ever go. As a matter of fact, the cops aren't even in Baltimore anymore. They're like, kill each other. Yeah. It's terrible. Trump is so right about this. Trump is right on target.
Listen, here's my stance. I don't want Marine Corps in cities. I don't want standard military, but the National Guard is designed for emergency. And if you have these cities that are sanctuary cities, which is breaking the law, you can sit there and stomp your feet and hold your breath and plug your nose all you want and say it's not against the law, but illegal immigration is not immigration, and therefore stop calling it that. It is just simply people who are committing crime who are crossing the border. It is illegal 100%. You've got to use the things that are at your potential and the things that you can use to expose these things. And it's not going to be the police. The police are heavily armed. The police have unreal budgets for the mechanical side, but the actual fundamental training to do this job is not for them. And having the National Guard there to literally be able to engage some of these gangs, which are better armed than our own police departments, is what it's going to take to clean out Chicago. Are you for it? Is it like every of the 37 most violent cities in America are democratically ran? Are you for putting National Guard into every single one of those, even though it's definitely a slippery slope?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And you know what? All the single mothers that go to work every
Yes.
single day in these urban communities that are trying to get their paralegal certificate, that are trying to keep their kids out of gangs, they want it too.
Yeah, they do.
It's just that the Democratic leadership, they're not willing to talk to their constituents. Those people, they want it too. They want safe communities. They want their kids to be able to play kickball in the park.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to fit in just fine here. Just, yeah, round peg, round hole, whatever. Because I can't even begin to tell you every single community. And I asked this, I was debating a user the other night, and I just said, what inner cities have you grown up in?
Right.
And he's like, well, where have you grown up? I'm like, sure. You want to play this game? Let's play. So don't let the white boy fool you. White boy grew up in the hood. And in several different ones, and not only grew up, but worked in these places because of my experience growing up in the hood, that I could get along in these areas as a white guy going into a predominantly Spanish speaking or black neighborhood where they would run these people out who would come in. But I'll tell you what, our stores didn't get robbed because there was a mutual respect. And they 100%. Knew that they could come into my store and they could shop, but if they fucked around, they were going to find out. And they were going to get all, and my DM was like, you're 6'4", you're 225, lay it down. I'll cover up any report. Somebody comes in here and tries to strong arm the store. They run out with stuff. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you to stop. Now, that's not the way it is anymore. But 30 years ago, it's what it took, is you had to go into these neighborhoods and take it by force because that's all they understand. So I really respect what you're saying. I agree. I know it's a slippery slope, but this is a national emergency, and that gives Donald Trump power to do the things he needs to do. Liv, you got some great questions. Go ahead.
Yes. Do you know Dog the Bounty Hunter? And if you do, what do you think of him?
I know Dog very, very well. I've known Dog from very many years. What do I think of Dog? I think that I'm very happy that he is happy right now, that he has a nice new wife, that he's very close to God, that he's very close with his children again. And we have a very strong connection to one another, and I wish him well every single day.
Good.
Is he the real deal?
Is he the real deal? Yes, he is. He says who he is, and he is who he says.
Yeah.
So he's just like he was on the reality show?
No,
I mean, listen.
That's not what I meant. Well, time out. Clarification. When I said real deal, what I'm talking about is he a bail bondsman? And is he a high quality bail bondsman or a bounty hunter? Excuse me. And is he? Well, he's both. Is he high quality? Is he good at what he does? That's what I was asking. And I'm not trying to put you in pigeonhole you. And I think you can be honest. I'm just wondering. Okay, let me give you a quick example. Bear Grylls. British SAS. Bear Grylls is an incredible survivalist. He's amazing. But you should not watch his show because anything you do, you're going to get yourself killed. Okay? Les Stroud he isn't special forces, but this is a guy you want to listen to because everything he says will keep you alive. I'm just asking about Dog. Is that the real deal, or is it a lot of it just Hollywood and TV?
Well, Dog is not on television anymore, and Dog is an older gentleman nowadays. Dog is not an active bail agent. His son, Leland, does a lot of bounty hunting, and we as an industry have respect for the Chapman family.
That's awesome. That's a great answer. So much controversy. Not trying to set you up for a fall. Liv,
yes.
you had mentioned in the pre-show that you happen to be really good friends with Beth, and she just passed. Can you tell us maybe a story or something about her that you would want to share with us?
Sure. Beth and I go back quite a bit, and one year we decided that we were going to lobby the Capitol in Connecticut, and they were trying to pass bail reform in Connecticut. And it was kind of the first time that we were put together in a very like intimate setting. I rented an Airbnb McMansion, and I had my security team downstairs, and Beth had the left wing and I had the right wing. And when we were done with our lobbying day, at the end of the day, it was a very, very long day, and we got our pajamas on, and we came down, and I came downstairs, and she was in the living room, and she said, you know, this one, little Lisa, or little this one. She was talking about the people in her show. And I said to her, I have no idea who you're talking about. I don't even know who those people are. And she said, you're full of shit. You watched my show. I said, listen, I am your show. I don't run Arkansas. I run New York City. When I come home, I watch HGTV. I don't want to watch bounty hunting shows.
Exactly.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who the people are on your show. I've never watched it before. And she got so upset with me. It was like I stabbed her in the eye. But then she realized I really didn't know anybody on her show. She was a little pissed off, but we worked it out.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say, but you put it better than I did. Is I know one thing about retail. When I worked retail for a couple different companies and 60-hour work weeks, and the last thing I want to do on the weekend is go shopping. So it's like, hey,
Right.
you want to go shopping? No, not at all. No. Does it? Hey, do you want to listen to a podcast this weekend? No. In fact, I really don't care. And Liv, go ahead. You have some others.
I'm going back. I had to delete.
Well, I got one from Bubba. Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna find Carrie's. Yes.
You know what we're gonna do? Bubba, I'd rather talk about Michelle than other bail bonds people, because this woman has done incredible stuff. So we're only going to ask one more question about other bail bonds people and bounty hunters. But Bubba was wondering if you knew Steve from Steve's Bail, who passed in New Orleans. He was a friend of his. And are you familiar with him?
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. Matt Dennis took over his business. They know me very well. Anybody who's anybody in bail, they know who I am.
Yeah, Bubba, veteran and just a really good dude. He's Houston Astros fan.
Thank you for your service, Bubba.
Yeah, don't get mad at him, because he's Houston. And
I absolutely know Steve's bail bonds. I know the owners very, very well.
Awesome. We're not going to hold it against you about being a Yankees fan either, even though we keep spanking you guys constantly. Liv?
Can you refuse a bond if you feel they're a menace, or are you legally bound to do it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Such a good question. I am not legally bound to do it. The word menace kind of is a broad word, because a lot of them that we do get out of jail are menaces, right? So if I did refuse a bond, it likely wouldn't be because the person is a menace. It might be because that person doesn't have any connection to the United States of America. It might be because that person has a warrant history. It might be for various other reasons. Maybe they don't have any family that wants to sign for them and things of that nature. But it wouldn't be because he or she was a menace.
Got it. I'm looking.
Also, could also, because like flight risk, and also, a credit hop, or those things are just standard. You roll the dice. You're an insurance company, right? That's basically what you are, as an insurance business. You roll the dice on if somebody is going to meet their court date, fulfill their obligation to get you your money back, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the kid is a little white Italian kid from Staten Island that still lives at home, it's a good bond every single day of the week.
Gotcha.
Right? If he's a Dominican national and he's moving cocaine, I don't know, probably not.
What about a white guy who's moving cocaine from Virginia? I'm just asking questions.
If grandma was willing to put up her house for him, and mom and dad were willing to sign, then quite possibly.
Him, I'm with you. Him, that random person. I get it.
I actually personally have a question.
Oh, please.
Do you have like a favorite bounty hunter that you like to use to help you, or do you just kind of go with whoever's available, or do you like to go with the same people?
That's a good question.
That's another good question. It depends where the body is. It depends where the individual has ran off to, right? So, for example, if I had a guy that skipped to Arizona I know exactly who I would use, right? So that would be Kenny, right? So, and if I had a guy that maybe went to Colorado, maybe it would be Rick. So yes, I do have certain bounty hunters that I would think of, like in California would be Rob. Maybe in North Carolina it would be Chad and Rob. So yes, but it depends where the individual thinks he's hiding.
I think it's just honesty time. I had a huge crush on Beth.
Okay.
I
She would
thought
love.
listen.
She would love.
Larger women get a bad rap because that woman was gorgeous, and you could just see it in her face, and she was tough and she was strong, and I really admired the shit out of her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about Beth that most people don't know.
Yeah.
A little fun fact: Beth was a great singer.
Yeah, you know what? There
She
was
did do
there
it.
was
There was an episode
yeah, at
where
the wedding.
she sang.
Yeah,
I think.
she said at the end and in the vehicle. We're not like Dog the Bounty Hunter. We watch it all the time. We haven't seen it in like years.
But we did watch it.
We
constantly.
watched it constantly. But yeah, Beth was always cool.
She was a great singer.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of road trips and she would sing in the car. She was a very good singer.
What's a misconception about bail bondsmen and bounty hunters besides that y'all smoke like a firkin chimney? What's the misconception?
I mean, the misconception is that we all look like Dog and Beth, right? So that's the first misconception. And I'm here to tell you that we are your neighbors. We are veterans. We're mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters. We are behind you in the grocery store line. We're watching the perimeter for you. We are in your communities. We live with you in your communities. And while you sleep comfortably at night, we are hunting the warranted for you, and we are returning them to the high order of the court to face swift justice.
James has a question. He says, kind of personal, how profitable is the bail bonds business? So let's do generally. We don't need to get your overall financial records.
Listen, it's different for everybody, right? Because if you're Bob's bail bonds in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, maybe it's not so profitable. But if you're, I don't know, Best Buy, you're more profitable, right? Because you have a huge entity, right? I mean, it really depends. But I will say this about being profitable. We have expenses just like any other business. People have this fallacy that we make tons and tons of money. We make American money. There's no question about it because we're entitled to it, right? Because we work. We believe in capitalism. But we are the epitome of multi-generational mom and pop shops. We have a specialized, unique role in the success of every single criminal justice system in which we operate throughout the United States of America. But our margins are not what one might think. We have payroll, we have rent, we have all the expenses that other businesses have. We also have those. So don't get too dreamy about what the margins are.
Yeah, the harder you work, the more you make, So we usually round out about $14.25 a day. Sandy Olquist says, if you could mentor folks, donations at thedumbshow.com/donate. We want to make sure that all of our guests feel like we're not trying to profit off of them. We always give back too. Trust me. We spread the word. You guys have a book, you have a TV show, whatever it is. Our people are great. So, but either way, if you want to go ahead and do that, we won't announce them until we get later, till the 8:00 hour. But Sandy Olquist, our new Don't Unfriend Me viewer, which are called dummies, not from a degrading term, but it means don't unfriend me. And it's been coined the dummies. If you could mentor young women entering the justice system or entrepreneurship, what would you tell them?
That's a good question.
That's a good question too. It's a good question.
Oh, Sandy, I love you. I love your question.
She seems to be a good one.
I would say do not be afraid. I would say move forward with certainty. Even if you don't know what you're doing, pretend like you do. I would say take every class listen to your elders, follow them, ask them for advice. I have young female bail agents that come to me all the time and they ask me, what should I do about this? What should I do about that? I'm so sorry that I'm calling you. I know that I'm bothering you. You're not bothering me. The elders, they want to give you their wisdom. So I would say that if you're interested in the criminal justice system, if you're interested in becoming a bail agent, look to your elders, find us, call me, get in touch with me. I'm happy to help.
Have you had a chance to meet President Trump yet?
I'm dying to. It would be my lifelong wish come true.
Would you like to? Well, so would I.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. Like, so I was, he's right here. No, sorry.
But
I didn't want to make it sound, because I was like, oh shit, this totally sounds like you're going to be like, well, guess what? You've won a free trip to Washington, D.C. I want to meet him too. And I've got plenty of friends and quite a few Secret Service guys and Air Force security. And it seems like everybody who in my network has met him. If you had 5 minutes with him, and you've got to tell him, then this is going to be for you too, to kind of, what your main focus is and what you're trying to work on. What would you tell him about the bail bonds business and bail reform that he needs to know that he doesn't?
Well, the first thing that I would do is obviously honor him, right? But the second thing that I would do in terms of explaining who we are and what we do is I would say, Mr. President, we are the coal miners of criminal justice.
Oh, hold on a second. Let that wash over everybody. I'm just thinking of like the black lung and going in with the candlelit helmet and the black face and laying on their backs and going in there with a pickaxe and so you're trying, it's dirty business. Is that what you're saying?
It is dirty business, but we're, like the sanitation guy, like the funeral guy, we are necessary and we are important. And then I would tell him to doge out and shut off all the federal funding to every single county, state, municipality, whereby federal money gets flooded into these states and they use that federal money to fund criminal offender release programs under the auspices of really cute little fun names.
When you fight reform, what, besides having a pulse on the business, besides being extremely connected and doing it for 30 years, I mean, that's an expert. No matter, I don't care. It doesn't mean you're a good expert. It just means you're an expert. And then the qualifications come with your reputation, right? I mean, you can rest on that. And then you're an expert who knows their stuff. You fought in Albany, you fought in Washington. When people want to break the glass in case of emergency and pull the switch, what are they going to get when they have you fighting on their side?
A lioness. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm Donald Trump and a girl. So, that's what I do. I wake up, fighting for bail, and I go to sleep fighting for bail. I speak to bail agents. Yesterday, I spoke to 6 different states. I started my morning in Ohio. I ended my evening in Arizona. I'm all over the place speaking to bail agents and trying to remind them of their intrinsic value and their worth, because we have been the low-hanging fruit through all this bail reform bullshit for quite some time.
Love her. Oh, such a breath of fresh air. Yep. Real quick, Mandy Del Rio. Do you want to read that off, Liv?
Yep. Says, hey guys. Hey, Michelle, Mandy Del Rio, and Jack Smith here. Great interview. My grandfather, Jack Del Rio, was a bail bondsman in Bakersfield, California for many years. So this is really interesting to me. And
man, it's like Bakersfield. It's like
that's what I already
Eagle
said.
River.
I texted her back and I said, hey, Ethan was born in Bakersfield. We lived there for a few years.
Kat, you literally weigh 6 pounds. How do you do that on 175-pound doors? Like the doors are just going, like the whole house is going to come down.
You'll see Kitty Butt in a minute.
Kitty Butt's coming up here. Yeah. She's a stripper cat. It's a long story.
Bobby has a question. Can I
say something to Mandy?
Yes.
Real quick. So I grew up, my summers were in Bakersfield. And to Mandy, if you had your grandfather there, if you have any other family there, just ask them about Raymond's Trophy Shop. And those are my cousins, and who I adore and love. Like my family, I could do without pretty much everyone else in my family, minus my cousins. I love them with all my heart. So they're in Bakersfield, and so I grew up in Bakersfield too. So it's just funny how the world is, and we have several listeners from Bakersfield because they know me from there and they watch the show. Lay it on her.
Do you know how many people that get on bond and mess up and try to get another from someone else?
Well, that's a no-no. Like, oh, I know that's bad.
Do I know how many people that are out on bond?
They screw up, and then they try to rebond with another bondsman.
I mean, it happens. It definitely happens, especially when they're involved in the use of narcotics, right? So yeah, I mean, it happens every single day. But a lot of the time, they're used to their bondsmen, and we are a community of second chances. So a lot of the time, what people don't know generally in the public is that we are the arm of social, like we are the people that find drug rehabilitation programs. We help the families get them into either a day program, or we get them put into a long-term program. Like, we actually really care about people and their families. It's not just about collecting the premium for us, right? Because addiction is affliction, and it really kind of transcends who you are and your demographic and what color you are and where you come from. So it's quite sad to see how many young people are addicted. So we are an industry of second chances, and much of the time we'll give them a second chance and a third chance sometimes.
I love hearing the optimism. I love to hear, I mean, you're in a business that is like, it's not designed to come home and say, gosh, I love my job. And I'm so excited.
So true.
And the fact that you still have such a passion and optimism for it, it's really a testament to who you are as a person. It makes sense why you've lasted so long in this business. Oh, that wasn't a compliment. It's just an observation. So here's a question I have for you. What is the largest bond you've ever posted, and what was your oh shit moment bond? Like okay, so largest dollar volume, and then the next one would be like the one that may not have been the largest, but you're like, uh-oh, like this isn't good.
Well, I will tell you that he was one of the largest, and he's also combined with an oh shit moment. He was called the Bone Doctor out of New York City. And
I know the Bone Doctor. I don't know him personally, but I know the case.
Oh, you do? That he was taking people's bones and replacing it with PVC pipes?
I know the case.
I had no idea that was an industry. I mean, go figure, right?
Go ahead. So absolutely.
It was about, I think it was like a $2 million bond, and I got him out of jail, and I knew certain things about his gumad, and he had certain side properties.
His whore.
Yeah. Yeah. His side piece.
You can say it.
Yeah. So I had my bounty hunters knock on his door 5:00 in the morning with hot bagels every morning. When he would come out of his lawyer's office, I had a little brown paper bag folded like they do on Rikers Island with a bologna sandwich and wax paper. And they would say, my boss wants you to have this, and they kind of like followed him around. Then he got batshit crazy from it, and he couldn't take it. And the lawyer called me and he said, Michelle, what are you doing? What are you doing to my guy? And I said, your guy's a scumbag. And he said, oh, and anyway, the guy went to court. On his next court date, he got another bondsman. And I always say, he's the guy in history that spent the most money to get rid of me. He spent $90,000 to get rid of me.
And that was a $2 million bond?
I think it was $1.5 million.
So you have to put up 10% or 20%?
New York doesn't have it. New York is not a 10% state. That's a fallacy. There are other states that have a 10% premium. We have a statutory premium, and it's on an 876 scale.
I see. Okay. So that scales lower the higher it goes. Would that be fair to say? Or is that, yeah?
10-4. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's not my first day in the rodeo. I'm learning how to learn it. No,
I
I
can see that.
I did the math and I was like, well, wait a second. If it goes up, then that's kind of a scam. It's not the banking industry, for God's sakes, which most certainly would be the opposite of that, which would be the
Right.
more money you borrow, the higher the interest rate goes. That would be the bank.
Right, not for us.
Yeah.
How
Liv?
did you get involved in the bail bonds business?
Oh, that's fun. It's fun.
Ooh, that's a good one. I am a domestic violence survivor, escapee, and I was a very young girl, and I was studying to get my paralegal certificate, and I had a very, very rich cousin that married a bail bond guy. And I used to go to her apartment, Central Park West or whatever, to get her hand-me-downs for my kids. And one day her husband walked in, the bail bond guy, and he gave me the once over. I never met him. And he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm going to be a paralegal." And he
That's
said,
great.
"You want to come and interview at my bail bond office?" And I said, yeah. I mean, I was on public assistance at the time. And I said, yeah, I do. And I went and interviewed, and I got the job. And within a couple of weeks, I could easily see that he was fugazi, and that he was.
That means gay, folks. It means he was gay.
No. It means that he was corrupt.
Wait,
Oh.
fugazi means, are you sure?
Fugazi means he's like fake. He's full of it. He's fugazi. Yeah.
Does it have duality meaning? Because I remember Tony being like, "Dude, he's fugazi," and he's talking whatever. Go ahead, tell your story. I'll research. It might be a different word. Go ahead.
So anyway, I thought to myself, I think I could do this on my own. The rest is bail bond history.
If you could do anything else, what would it be?
I used to be a florist before I was a bail bondsman. So by now I would own 1-800-Flowers.
Yeah, that's like, I'm surprised the nickname isn't La Fleur. That would be good. Let's see. Fugazi means something that's fake, phony, worthless, and counterfeit. You're right. I'm wrong. There's another word that fugats. No, fugats. So that's what it is, right?
Okay.
Okay. Folks, this show, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to put out a disclaimer. Suck it up if you don't like it. Defriend me. Go ahead.
Do you think the inner cities can be saved?
Oh, I can answer that question.
I do. Under Donald Trump, I do.
Yeah, they can. They can.
I under DJT, I really encouraged that he can see. Look, the other presidents, they might have seen it, right? But it was very easy for them to get in their limousines with all the Secret Service and just keep driving, right? Trump's not like that. He's like, look, all these people are coming from Japan and Korea. This is embarrassing. You got homeless, you got people getting murdered. This whole thing, it's NG. We got to fix it. It's got to get fixed once and for all. And he's just like, he's a common sense guy. And that's why they don't like him. That's why they don't like him.
Well, there's another reason too. And it's because his accent is similar to yours. And those uppity fucking elitists, they are the worst. They are the most snobbish, pretentious douchebags on the planet. And because I'll tell you, I rub shoulders with them. I worked for 2 Fortune 15s. I went all over the country for Apple and NBC, Comcast. And I sat at those executive boardrooms and I sat at those tables. And whenever they saw the tattoos, they'd treat me just a little different. And I'm like, oh, no, sweetheart, please. Let's not go there, because when you judge somebody by the cover, and that is a cliche, and the idiom is everyone knows it, but it's true, and you just don't know what you're going to get. And I think they underestimate Donald Trump, and I think they don't understand how somebody can critically think out loud, and that man does not have an internal monologue. He is an outward processor. So when I listen to him, I'm just like, okay, all right, you know what? Just stop. But he's right. And he's consistently right. And they don't fix the inner city because why would they?
Right.
Why would they?
Right.
Nobody in the inner city demands anything from them. Nope. They continue to vote for him except for this election. And that's where and that's why the Democrats are scared. They're
They should be
terrified.
scared.
They should be, because they're going to get their asses kicked in 2028.
I
I'm
hope
telling you.
they
And
do.
20. Well, I'm pretty good at this. And when it comes to politics, that's my jam. That's my 30-year jam. And we have a really good accuracy rating. We're like talking like 99.99% accurate on the last two elections, and that's local elections, state. We work together, but it's we're a team. You know, we're a tripod. You knock one leg of the tripod, we all go down. So the reason I say that they have no reason to fix it, does it get a little like trying to boil the ocean sometimes? And you're just like, you know, you take a 5-gallon bucket and you dump it out, and then you're like, great, now I have the ocean to still unload. Does it get overwhelming that these just, you keep seeing the same people on bond and you can't break the cycle?
It does get overwhelming. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Of course, it gets overwhelming. You know, I think for us as bail agents, it's much more, it's not only overwhelming to see the same person who's afflicted and addicted, right? But it's also extremely overwhelming as parents, and the majority of us are parents and grandparents, to hear the cries of the mothers and the fathers. I mean, that's as many years as I'm doing what I'm doing, that goes right through me, because we have the right to revoke a bond, right? So if mom and dad don't want to be on the bond anymore, for whatever the reason, little Johnny's packing up and going to Timbuktu, they can sign off the bond, and then we have to return him forthwith to the jail, or sheriff, or, you know, the court or whatever. And seeing the anguish in the eyes of parents, it just never, ever, ever gets easy.
I'm very sorry to do this to you, but I got to chime in on something that's going on in chat. Susie Shu is a guest. I invited her, and she doesn't like Donald Trump, and she's a Democrat, and that's just fine with me. She has every right to come into chat. Leave her alone. She can say what she wants. She's not hurting anybody. Okay? We don't need to cancel her. We don't need to get mad at her. She's not shooting people. She wants dialogue, and she showed up. So let's let her. She thinks Trump doesn't care. Yeah, right. Just treat her right. You know what? Be better than the other people. We don't do this. How many Democrats call into the show now? We've got some guy from the middle of the inner city who calls in, who has changed. We had a Groyper, we consider a neo-Nazi, for 5 years calling here, and he has shed that skin. And he's a Christian. He cried over Charlie now. So we can affect change. And if she deserves to be knocked down a peg or two, I'll take care of it. You guys just be welcoming and ask questions, please, because you don't need to do that to people. You know, she's not causing any harm. She's not causing any harm. Like I said, if she needs to knock down a peg or two, you know, I'll do what a man's job is to do.
Gosh.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just what happened. So here's the thing. I want to give you some time. I am, and then we're going to get to the chat. Then maybe Susie will call in. Is I want to give you. There's plenty of people who are watching who are your friends, and I know you get a chance to come onto these shows once in a while. And I've seen you on Fox, and I've seen you on some other channels, but we always give people a few minutes after these interviews to kind of just say what they want to say and say hello to they want to, you know, who they want to talk to, and maybe just kind of talk about something they're working on. So you can find Michelle at bailempire.com. And if you don't need a bail bondsman or a bail bondswoman, or however you want to say it, you can also look up. She's got some great interviews. She's got some great pieces. There's some great written articles about her too, to find out some more. Michelle, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to hand it over.
Okay. I mean, I think what I would say to everybody that's listening, regardless of political ideology, is this: bail reform is a debacle. It's a lie. All the talking points associated with it are not true, right? So what it does is it makes your communities less safe. And nobody wants that, regardless of political ideology, right? So what I'm going to say to you is that in the next election cycle, please take a look at what your elected officials' platform is. I don't care if they're Republican and they've gotten on the bail reform wagon. If you see that they are pro bail reform, vote for the other guy. If you are unsure, call their offices. Hi, my name is Jane Jones. I'm your constituent. Is your guy a bail reform guy? And if they say yes, please don't vote for that guy, because essentially what you're doing is you're voting against your children. You're voting against your grandchildren. You're voting against your neighbor. And it's just ungodly. And the fact of the matter is that these politicians, although you might really like them because you like their hair, or you like the way they speak, or you read their book and you think they're really cool, they don't care. They all have security. They don't live in the inner cities. They don't have to take the trains every day to go to work, right? They're not who we are. They're not regular American citizens, right? They probably don't go to ShopRite. They probably have everything delivered and their security teams bring it in. It's all very cute that they think that they are the same as us, but they're really, really not. So please make sure, I beg of you, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, and I say this all the time, if I get
I'm
hit
going to
by a
feel
bus
sorry for
tomorrow,
that bus.
right, so am I.
Sorry for that bus.
So am I. But if I did, please don't just vote party line, because I hate to tell you this for all the people that are on here that are Republicans like myself. There are Republicans that have tried to destroy the bail system. Governor Krispy Kreme, the former Governor Christie, he destroyed the bail system in the state of New Jersey. You no longer have a right to bail in the state of New Jersey. You're held under something called preventative detention, which they do in China and Iraq. So that what that really means is that the judge deems you dangerous, you are held through trial with no chance of bail. That is done in communist nations. Please get educated. If you're not, look me up at the National Association of Bail Agents, and we are happy to get on a call with you and your neighborhoods. We're happy to get on a Zoom, and we will bring you up to snuff. We want you to be up to snuff on this subject. It's very important.
We talk about that a lot here, and I've tried to explain to people, just because you put an R in front of your name doesn't mean you're right. And Tulsi Gabbard is a perfect example, and I am going to give her all the opportunity in the world to change her stripes and spots, but one of the most socialist, progressive legislators that the United States has ever seen in office was Tulsi Gabbard, and who also believed that cashless bail is the way to go. So you got to be careful there. And you got to look, and I agree with you. There's Harold Ford Jr.'s out there who are Democrats, and he is a pretty amazing human being. You see him on the 5. And then you've got others who just, they're not really Republicans, and we know that. Lindsey Graham, we understand that. Thomas Massey. These are people who we may like because the window dressing is good, but when you get inside and check out the trim and the paint and the molding, it's a shit show. So I agree with you. Anything else for Michelle?
There might be several questions, but I mean,
you can do it.
There might be a few.
We can put a 5-minute timer on it.
All right.
Let's do rapid fire.
Okay. So can bail bondsmen and bounty hunters carry lethal weapons?
It depends what state.
Does it depend on the bond also? Like if a state does have restriction against it, but the bond is like a serious, like this guy's bad, is it usually just turned over to the authorities at that point?
It depends. I mean, there are certain fugitive recovery agents are allowed to carry firearms in certain states, like let's say, for example, Alabama, but they're not allowed to in New York. It just goes with the gun laws, basically.
Okay.
How long does it take to become a bail bonds person?
Again, it really is state specific. In Florida, it takes 2 years.
What about New York?
In New York, it could take at least a year.
Do you have to go to school for it, or what do you do?
It depends what state. In Florida, you do. In Alabama, you do. You know, there's education. There's the CEs, things like that. Yeah.
Do you have to take like a bar or a test like you do with lawyer or real estate?
Yes, there's an exam. Absolutely.
Fair enough. If people Can they reach out to you through your website if they have questions or might need your services at one point?
Absolutely. You can always reach out to me at the website that you see, but you can absolutely look us up at the National Association of Bail Agents.org. I'm always proud to say that on our executive board, we have 3 United States veterans, and we're just super proud of them. And we're super proud of the entire bail industry. And I'm very honored to be able to represent my brothers and sisters in bail.
Listen, it's been a pleasure getting to know you.
We have
and
one more very important question.
never mind.
Okay.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's the most important question of the evening.
No, you made you.
Yes, it is. It is a staple on this show. And
There's only one answer, lady, and if you get it wrong, you're not welcome back.
Every guest has to answer this question.
You better get it right.
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
No, I'm from Brooklyn. Absolutely.
That girl. I love her.
Mandy's on my side, though.
Mandy's wrong.
That is
Mandy's
so like
right.
California. That's not a thing.
You better come back.
Yes.
Seriously, you have to come back.
Back.
You got to come back when we do the real show, because
Mm-hmm.
this is where it gets kind of fun, and it's always nice to just kind of, cut your teeth on talking about yourself. But then we get in some great topics. We'll have good debates, and then people call in and we cover some good stuff. You have to come back. We will reach out again.
I love debates. Debates are my favorite.
Good. We'll bring you back. Okay. Listen, everyone, Thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you, Michelle. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yours too. You've done an amazing job. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alrighty. God bless.
God
What an amazing woman. Just so fun, man.
Oh,
So
yeah.
fun. What a great conversation. So kind.
Great. I loved it.
And phone lines are open, folks. You can get in at 276-200-2105. I would appreciate it if we could keep it open. Mandy, she called you a California blonde. Don't take that shit, Mandy. Don't do it. Punch Jack in the face right now. Just feel mad. Just don't ever talk to me that way. I'll tell you what. Let's get Susie if she wants to call in. 276-200-2105. I invited her to the show, and I want to give her first docket.
What was she on?
She was over on, I think it was Damani's site or some other site I trolled and talked some shit to, and she came on. Elizabeth Hall donated $10.80. Keep up the great work. Folks, we got 1 hour to hit donations.
Linda
So
Clark, thank you for your documents of freedom.
Linda got the documents of freedom. Bum, bum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba. And you know what's funny? I think I saw Michelle eyeballing it,
Oh,
and she
really?
put on her glasses because she's a grandma. And
Oh my God.
she put on her glasses and she tried to read the URL. So I think I'm going to send her one. Maybe. Okay. So we've got a bunch of donations. I want to say thank you. If you guys know how hard that is, that first hour we give it away and then all of a sudden we're scrambling. But if you want to call it, number, didn't hear, 276-200-2105. It's right there. It's right there.
Right.
Joanne Lutman donated $50. As always, good show. Joanne, you play my heartstrings. Lutman, bring the minstrel in the gallery. No. Look down upon the smiling faces, upon the eastern gaze of... No, okay. Jethro told folks, if you don't know, you need to listen. Okay, waiting for a call. I told you, not my favorite pizza, but I'm kicking it out of bed. Good. Not kicking it out of bed. You'll eat graham crackers in bed. That's one of my tests too. Like, I'd let her eat graham crackers in bed. Olivia she eats crackers in bed. There's no doubt she eats crackers in bed because every time I go into the new sheets, they are there. Waiting on a phone call, folks.
Carrie said it's not up, but I see it on the screen. Carrie, is it on?
Is what on?
It says your phone call to call in is not up.
What do you mean it's not up? It's right there.
I don't know.
It's literally right here. And we got to see. Okay, I got 2 calls. Shit, 806. Let's see. I'm going to go with 218. Hey, 218, who are we talking to? Hold on. Hello, who are we? Hold on a second. I got to get you pumped in here. Who are we talking to? Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
All right, who am I talking
Sandy in Minnesota.
Okay, Sandy in Minnesota. All right, Sandy in Minnesota. What do we want to talk about?
Oh, okay. And by the way, thank you for welcoming me to your show.
Of course, it was so good to see you. I saw you post, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta get Sandy the invite."
You know, this might not be a popular thing to say, but I don't care what's popular. You see, I'm the type of person that if you come to me, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to pee on your leg and tell you it's raining.
That's a good thing.
I was really proud of you for defending Susie.
Oh.
Now, Charlie Kirk was known for championing free speech and civic engagement.
Yes, ma'am.
Even when it meant hearing views that clashed with his own. He often said things like, it's okay to hear, you know, something you disagree with, or you don't have to run to a safe space. He believed that, you know, true strength in democracy comes from open dialogue, not censorship, you know.
That's correct.
And I believe we should welcome all opinions, even the ones we strongly disagree with. Free speech isn't just for voices we like, it's for everyone.
That's correct. I agree with you.
You know, he often, his platform was prove me wrong, not silence them. That's the kind of courage we need more of. If someone wants to criticize Trump or criticize you for your beliefs, okay. You got to let them speak. You got to at least find that middle ground. Now, I know there are many leftists out there that are absolutely unreasonable. You cannot reason with evil. You can't. But if we start, I'm a Christian. If I start pumping Bible verses down people's throats that have nothing to do with anything and everything about heaven and hell, and let's say I say, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you don't change your way, what good is that going to do or make somebody want to change their life or change their opinion?
That's correct.
We all have to let our pride down a little bit and come together at the bargaining table. Of course, we have been doing that for all this time. I understand. Believe me, I'm just as outraged. But when we completely shut it out and we completely shut out free speech dialogue. Now, like I said, make it perfectly clear. I am a conservative and I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian above being a conservative. I follow no man. I follow Jesus Christ.
Got it.
That's how we grow, by listening. And there will always be people that will refuse, and they're mentally ill. They're sick and insane. Like I'm talking about the ones that are celebrating over the death of Charlie Kirk. There is something inherently evil about you and something wrong with you. I will never have tolerance for that, ever. When you can celebrate a man's death like that. But we can't shut out the Susies of the world either. We have to come to a middle ground.
Not somebody with that level of courage, because it's not easy to walk into the lion's den and say, I'm comfortable in my faith and I'm comfortable with who I am, or the lack thereof. I agree with what you're saying, and I think there's just something else that I would add to that is it's impossible to change people's minds. You don't have the power to do so. If we did, we wouldn't have wars, and we would never be turned down for a date, and we probably would win the lottery consistently.
Right.
But what you can do is that if you are looking to win and influence people, the way to do that is to make sure they like you. And if they don't, you have zero chance. And you still may have a very, very slim chance of influencing them closer to your opinion. But if they don't like you, that is a nil. Because you can't ask people to put down their guard, because that's when change takes place. It's one of the acceptance of the change agents. And there's several different steps to change. And when you get into that denial phase, the only way you get out of that is moving to acceptance. And you will not have people accept your opinion if they do not like you. Now, I'm not an easy person to like at first because I'm a garbage in, garbage out. You come at me, I'm going to swing just as hard. But if you open your arms, I will also reciprocate. And if we could just be a little bit more flexible, if we could just be a little bit more amiable and accept people for who they aren't before we demand them to be who we want them to be. And I think that's what you're trying to say is you can't just come and shove the Bible down. You can't shove all the facts down. Accept them for who they aren't and stop trying to make them who you want them to be.
Well, from somebody who personally has had in the last year very scary, frightening illnesses come up. You know, I'm getting better now.
Good.
And when I'm telling you, when you come to the end of yourself in those situations and you're being told, well, we got to check for cancer. We've got to check for these things. And you're sitting there and you're at your end. Believe me, I used to be so judgmental that I didn't realize I never thought I was, but I come to the end of myself and I was convicted by the Holy Spirit. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. That's what I believe and and it was like, you know, just what you're doing is wrong. Let's give you new eyes, you know, and I prayed to have new eyes when I look at people.
God bless you. That's a beautiful thing.
For me to realize when you have what you think is going to be a death sentence, that's going to be your last time on earth, that you only have a short time. Thank God it wasn't, but they were looking that way.
Yep.
And you have that moment. Believe me, you'll change your hard heart. I didn't think I was prideful, but I'll tell you what, from what I was 20 years ago, I can guarantee you, because I was just like you, I could say that when people came up to me, and if you're going to come at me, I'm going to hit you back harder. And just because I'm a little more humble, a little more accepting and tolerant, you know, I will never tolerate violence against anybody.
Right.
I've always stood for that. But I will always I will defend my own. I believe in everything that, you know, that I'm a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I have conservative values. I'm strict with that.
Right.
That label, so to speak. But I will say this, and I'll let you go so other people can call in. I would encourage Susie to call in. I would like to hear Susie.
When I 50-50'd, I had 2 phone calls. I picked your number, but it was actually hers who was on. So that's the only reason. And you know what? I'm glad we got both of you because you're both new invitees to the show, and I'm starting to do more of that. And I think it's great that you're here. I think it's great you asked about it, and I'm glad that you showed up, and I appreciate your perspective.
And I appreciate your show. I really like it. I've been welcomed into the chat. I've been welcomed by you and your wife. And I really, like I said, if we can't talk to one another anymore, then that's where wars start. That's where violence comes in.
Yeah, sure.
We have to start talking. We have to start talking. I'm not saying, it's kind of like the forgiveness thing. I have people that hate my guts, that absolutely hate me, that think I'm just the worst evil person on this earth. Mm-hmm. And they are mostly family members because of who I voted for.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
I love them. I can forgive them. But I don't have to associate with them.
Right.
I don't have to agree with everything that they do in their lives. Mm-hmm. But you see, when it comes to the end, and I'll leave it with this, we come into this world alone, and we are judged by God alone. When Charlie met his creator, I believe with all my heart that Jesus said, "Well done, good and faithful servant." That is how we should live our life. We should be striving to hear our Lord and Savior say, "Well done, good and faithful servant."
You're going to be disappointed in our show sometimes. We're not going to always do perfect, but I'll tell you what, it sounds like you'll enjoy it here. And even some of the things you said, most people know are like, oh, they're taking things that you said and said, oh, well, Matt said this or Olivia said this. You'll find that even what you ended with is something that we've been talking about on the show. So please stick around. Which video did you see, Sandy, that made you want to come on the show, or was it a meme or something? What was it?
It was one of your shorts that you had done on Facebook, and something just told me, hey, follow this guy. And I just started going through all of your videos. I was listening for about a week now.
Okay.
And I just said, I feel right here.
Good. Well
just
done.
like, can I mention one thing though?
Sure.
I call into a radio station down in Louisiana. You may even know the man, Jeff Crouer.
Nope. Nope, I don't.
Ringside politics with a punch is what it is.
Yep. Now that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's on Fox News too, or he has a program on Fox News and on Real America's Voice.
Yep. Now.
And I call into his show quite frequently. He's another one that made me feel comfortable enough to call in.
Mm-hmm.
And I found him totally by accident. And I've been calling in, for about a good 4 years now. And that's how it felt to me. It felt like you give a platform with everybody's voice. And that's what I want to listen to. I want to listen to people with all sorts of opinions, whether you agree with them or not. And you and Jeff Crouer and his wife, Mimi, they allow their platform to be for everybody.
That's pretty much true. There's something that I ask of everybody who participates in this show, especially callers or in chat, is that we talk in facts. And I don't do emotions. When somebody says I think, I'm just out of the conversation. I'm like, go for it, because you have every right to think whatever you want. But the moment somebody says the words I know, that's when I engage. Because if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And if you're right, I'm going to tell you you're right.
And you know something?
Yeah.
That's the kind of friends that I have in real life, because I don't want, like I said in the beginning, I don't want somebody peeing on my leg and telling me it's raining. I want clear cut. Tell me the truth. I don't care if you hurt my feelings. I'll get over my feelings. I grew up in a generation where I'm 61. I grew up in a generation where your parents did not care about your feelings, and we took care of ourselves and we worked and that's the generation I came from.
Right.
And no, I don't want somebody to kiss my rear end. Oh no.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's talk about why I deal in facts too.
Good.
I'm a pretty black and white person.
Well, I appreciate your calling into us, and I do have to take the other calls, and I really don't be a stranger. Continue to call in. I'm glad you showed up tonight.
Thank you very much.
That means
for your time.
You got it, Sandy. God bless you.
Sandy.
Thank you for talking with us. All right, new caller, and I'd like to keep the phone lines open if we can, and I'd like to wait for Jonathan Witten. Love you guys. $20. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you for the donations. We want to try to keep those coming in. We've got a lot to go. We've got $220 to go on our goal. And I am waiting for
Susie,
the other nice lady, Susie, to call in. And I can't remember where. I think it was on Damani's page. I don't know, but we'll find out. I'll ask Susie. Susie, why don't you call in? Here's what I'm going to do, Susie. I'm going to play the commercial for our donations and put the clock up here because we got to hit donations. So everyone take a pee break, and then I'm going to let her call in. You might be put on hold. You're not going to hear anything. Don't worry about that. There's. Hi, is this Susie? Hotel California is wonderful, but hi, Susie. Is it Susie?
Yes.
Hi, Susie. Hang tight for me 1 second. We're going to go to a quick commercial, and I'll be back inside of 2 minutes, and then we would love to talk to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't know you could hear my radio
No,
player.
nothing wrong with Hotel California. Little Joe Walsh is what I'm talking about. Folks, we'll be right back. Give us 3 minutes, and you get to watch the donation. Go take your pee break, but also don't forget to come back and donate, because we got to keep these things rolling. This is what happens when we have guests, is sometimes when we come back, we forget to help out the show. Please do. We'll be right back with Susie. This should be a good one. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, your son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking. I can't do it. I can't untighten
That's
it.
what she said.
That's what she's. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child
For you.
got 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate.
About
one more minute, Susie. One more minute. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old. Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
Better than
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm gonna owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Welcome back to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Olivia took a longer toity than expected, but she'll be back. We're going to have Susie on the show. She's on the phone right now. Susie was on a website. It might have been, I believe it was possibly a Democrat site. No, might have been Damani's site. Damani shared a video of mine or something, and I think she found it. She can tell us. Susie, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Is it with an I-E or a Y?
I.E.
I.E. Well, listen, as always, you get the opening salvo. Would love to kind of hear what your thoughts are. I don't do debate, even though I did debate in high school and other places. I don't believe in it. I think it's a waste of time. I just love to have a conversation with you and hear your thoughts, and we'll kind of go from there. So, Susie, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, sure.
I comment on both liberal and conservative sites, mainly because I'm just trying to bridge the gap.
Okay.
There's way too much arguing and hating, and I just think people need to calm down and have a discussion.
It's fair.
And that's basically what I'm commenting on Damani's site, is the same thing I'm commenting on other sites. Calm down, take a breath, stop insulting each other, and talk it out.
This is my wife, Olivia, by the way. Olivia, this is Susie.
Hello.
Hey.
Do you follow Damani's site?
Yes, I do.
Damani's a good friend of mine, and we met through the internet, and you know, kind of had our ebony and ivory moment, and he'll be on the show next week. But you know, I happen to agree with you. I think the bone of contention that's happening right now is that there's these polar fights that are taking place, and people are diametrically opposed because they're told to by the marching orders of the media. I don't listen to any. I don't listen to any of that crap. There are people who generally hate Donald Trump or despise him or don't like him, and whatever level it is. I think you're not a big fan.
No, I'm not a big fan. I don't really hate him, but I just really don't like him.
What is it about him that you don't like? Is there something in particular that just makes your teeth itch?
I have not liked him, and I cannot get over his apprentice show. I know it's petty and everything,
His what?
but that's when the dislike started.
I'm sorry. So, Susie, you're cutting in and out a little bit if you're on speaker. You didn't like his what?
The Apprentice.
Oh, I despise The Apprentice. I thought it was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan. And then I read The Art of the Deal, and I wasn't horribly impressed. There was definitely good parts of it, but it didn't really translate into what I was doing. As an electronic salesman, and although I was good at it, it's definitely different than real estate. Okay, so you didn't like him on Apprentice, but his position is much different than, and you're talking, a decade of separation in between then and now. Is it simply just that, or is it his policies that you don't like, his mannerisms? What is it now?
I really don't like, because he does seem to push the hate narrative a lot and call Democrats evil.
You are breaking in and out. Did you say he calls Democrats evil?
Yeah.
So do you think when he says Democrats are evil, is he talking about you?
No, I'm not really a Democrat or a Republican. I'm more central,
right,
and vote for whoever.
Right, but my point being is, do you think he's talking about the citizenry of this country, or he's talking about the political representatives of this country?
I think he's actually talking about the people.
How can you maybe throw me a time that he has said that the people of this country who are Democrats are evil? Because I can tell you a time that liberals have done that, and I can be very specific.
Yes, I do know they have too, and it's wrong on both sides. I didn't even like Biden.
Yeah, but you made a point that said two, and two demonstrates more than one, and then also inclusivity for both parties. And I'm here to challenge directly that Donald Trump has never said that the Democrats of this country who vote opposite of him are evil. In fact, those words have never escaped his mouth.
He has said that the people that vote against him are not very good people.
Well, those words haven't been said, but he does explain, and I want to be clear here. I'm not trying to just debate semantics with you, but I think this is a very important point. Everything, I listen to the man. I listen to Biden. I mean, this is my job, and I do this, 20 hours a day. I have heard him absolutely call out and say that it's not very bright for people to vote for Democrats, and he can't understand why people vote for Democrats. He said that specifically with the Black community, the Hispanic community, younger people, what Democrats call college educated. I think that's a little bit different than calling them somehow stupid or evil. This is, we got dogs too. Don't worry about it. We got. So what I'm having a problem with is, if that's your bone of contention with Donald Trump, this is going to be really easy to solve. There's got to be something. There's got to be something deeper, Susie. There's got to be something about him that you're just like, dude, I can't get behind this guy. And it can't be for things he didn't say, because he hasn't said that about voters or people who don't vote for him.
The thing he did say, going into the teenage Miss USA locker room anytime he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you remember what show he was on when he talked about that?
That was so many years ago, but I do remember it when it was on.
Decades ago. Decades.
Yes.
It was Howard Stern. And did you know?
The shock jock.
Oh, that's right. Well, see, you got it. So every time anyone went on, like George Takei, who grabbed a man's penis
on
radio, And he did it. That's George Takei, right? That's a person who Democrats absolutely love. I mean, he pioneered the LGBTQ community. Well, what about the woman who masturbated on a subwoofer on radio with him? And what about the time
that was horrible, woman?
Yeah, so I can give you about 1,000 other references. And this was kind of the price of admission, is when you would go on to Howard Stern, like you and I would say, hey, we're going to talk about politics and we're going to be nice to each other. But when you went on Howard Stern, it was, I need the most scandalous, sexy, disgusting story that you can come up with. And that's what Donald Trump did. Now, I know what he said. I know what he said. I know what he said about grabbing women. I can tell you that if I was ever recorded secretly, I would be ashamed of some of the things I've said in life. And I'm pretty sure Olivia and maybe even you, Susie, all feel the same way. It's not an excuse, but it was 20 years ago.
I know how long ago it was.
What else, Susie? There's got to be something. I know you're passionate about this. You came in here and said he doesn't care about people.
No, he really doesn't seem to. I mean, he's fighting to take away rights of different people.
Which rights?
Voting rights.
What voting rights? Specifically, what voting rights is he trying to take away?
Not being put on the spot.
No, you're doing fine. You're okay. So do you believe? Let's change it. I'm sorry. I'm coming too fast and hard. Let's slow down. You really believe he's trying to remove rights of people to vote? I just would like to ask which way he's done that, because with Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024, all three elections, more people have voted exponential growth on each election of over 23% participation, minus 2024, which we saw because of the COVID spike. But more are registering, more are voting, more Black, more Latino, more women are voting than ever before. So we are seeing these numbers, which are absolutely astronomical, under two presidencies, under one under Joe Biden, one under Donald Trump. And now you're going to see in 2026, but these are the biggest midterms we've ever had. These are the biggest gubernatorial races and mayoral races. So it's hard for me to understand how Donald Trump is stopping people from voting when we're seeing the biggest numbers ever in U.S. history.
Now, if I'm put information like that, where I can understand it without being offended, I will listen.
I know you will. I can tell.
I can change my mind.
I believe you can, so I'm talking to you. I'm not here to sell you. Listen, I'm not Donald Trump's PR guy. I think Donald Trump can be a real asshole sometimes.
Yes.
And that's, and I've yelled at him for a year and a half. I said, shut up about J6, shut up about the stolen election, and campaign or you're going to lose, and solve abortion, because we've lost 3 elections over 6 years because of abortion, and you're going to lose in 2024 if you don't. And he did. And he came to the center and he made sense, and people were like, okay. So I get not liking it, but the question is this: do you really need to like your president in order to value the things that he does that benefit this country? Is like necessary?
No, like is not necessary.
Okay.
But just because I dislike the man doesn't mean I dislike the country or other things.
That's fine. That's fine. You know who I don't like? It just drives me absolutely crazy, but I can respect. Do you want to know? I'll give you a little secret here.
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi. Oh, I can't stand that woman.
Yes, I can't stand her.
But you know what? She's so good at her effing job. She was the most deceptive and vile speaker ever, but man, she rallied her troops. Nobody got out of line. When they say majority whip, they ain't kidding, because she cracked that thing, and they did what she said. I can respect that and still despise the woman.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a heavy debate. I thought you were going to come in here with guns loaded. It sounds like you're just a person who has fundamentals, has some gripes with the way he handles his business, but overall,
pretty much. And that's my main thing, is trying to stop the hate and bridge the gap where people can talk. And if you look at my answers on the Monty's page, that's basically what it is, trying to get people to talk.
I did. I'm an admin on that page, and I looked you up, and I don't have people on my show who I don't know or at least have interacted with. And listen, there's nothing wrong with being a Democrat, and people want to immediately go into their proverbial corners, but that's not the way to, that's not the way to do it. It's not the way to do it.
No, because that puts people's backs up and they want to go into defense or attack right away.
So Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
On him, I have listened to him for a long time. Some things he was right on, some things he wasn't right on. I don't think he's a martyr or a hero, but he wasn't bad.
Do you think he gave his life to God?
I'm not sure about that.
Do you believe in God? Can I ask you that personal question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I am a Christian.
Okay.
The one thing that sticks with me was his pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said it's his hypothetical, if his 10-year-old was raped, he'd force her to have the baby.
Well, those weren't his words.
That just made me sick to my stomach.
Those weren't his words.
That, I watched the debate.
As did I. Would you like me to pull it up for you and we can talk about it? Or do you want to just tell me, is that what you, like in your Christian mind, that is what you thought he was conveying?
That was just a roundabout way of saying he would force her to give birth to the rapist's baby.
So it's a really good point, because I happen to believe that life of mother, rape and incest, and Olivia, your thoughts on where
I'm in line with that.
Is there anything else you want to expand on?
No, I mean, it's life of mother, rape, incest. That's about it as far. I don't think it should be used as a form of birth control. That's what it's used for today.
Well, the thing is that I don't mind giving the 2% of all abortions, which would be rape, incest, life of mother. I can concede those numbers, but can we focus on the other 65 million babies that are killed for convenience?
Yeah. I'm not
but
exactly pro-choice.
I know you're not. I can hear it. It sounds like you're like most conservatives, but let me tell you what Charlie did say. He was forced. Let me help you with this question. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Are you married by chance? Do you mind if I ask that?
No, I'm not married.
You have a child by chance?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
A good friend.
Yes, I have friends.
Good. So let's say your friend's Tom, and Tom's an elderly person. And I come up to you and I say, hey, are you still beating Tom when you see him? Go ahead and try to answer. Yeah, beating, like physically beating him.
No, I'm not beating anybody.
So you stopped?
Oh, I never started.
It doesn't sound like. So do you see the trap? So when somebody asks Charlie Kirk, you have some impossible situation. Your 10-year-old daughter gets pregnant. What people didn't listen to is that Charlie would do what a father should do at that point and not leave a decision of such paramount consequence to a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old should never be raped. A 10-year-old should not even be thinking of this. But in his eyes as a father, he is going to help make the best decision for his daughter like he should. Like if she wanted to get a tattoo, he would say no. If she wanted to go and drink, he would say no. If she wanted to get behind a car, he would say no. If he wanted to steal something. And he believes that he is the best person with his wife to make that decision for their child. And what he's saying is that baby would be born. We would not guide our daughter to termination. And
so they would
go ahead.
Put a 10-year-old through that physical trauma of actually giving birth or having a C-section.
In that hypothetical situation that has the probability of 0 of happening with parents who are actively involved with their children, but has happened before, it has happened, then the answer would be yes.
I just can never imagine putting a 10-year-old through that.
I can't imagine having a 10-year-old be responsible for murdering a child. I'm with you. Both are horrendously bad, bad choices. One of them is a lifelong choice to have the gift of a beautiful life that you can raise and nurture and protect, even though you're not ready for that. I think terminating a life is something you live with forever and gives you none of those benefits that could possibly happen as a parent.
Yeah, I'd rather a child be angry at me for taking a life than having a child go through the entire pregnancy.
It's fair. It's fair. It's an untenable situation. It's an impossible one to decide. One that Charlie Kirk is not going to have to face anymore because they killed him for having that opinion.
I know. That was wrong. I agree with that.
Yeah. Liv, did you want to say anything to Susie or have any questions for Susie?
No questions, but thanks for calling in.
Susie, I really appreciate you calling in. I think it takes a lot of guts to call in and have an opinion, and I hope you challenge us and call in. We have several Democrats who have been calling in lately, and these conversations, I'm trying to tell people Democrats aren't all evil. They're not demented. They are normal human beings, just like I know that, but you have to understand there's some real vile ones out there who are ruining the reputation of the good ones.
There's really vile Republicans as well.
There are.
We got to stop.
I know. You know how we stop? We do this. We do this. We set the standard. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But I'm staying by my conviction.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think you should.
Yep.
I think, can you mind if I take just one more minute of your time?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just with my dog.
In 2005, what type of dog you have?
Chihuahuas.
Oh, that's Yokiro Taco Bell dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
they were my mom.
We have a
after she passed, I got them.
Well, that's beautiful. We have a cat too. So I'm just kidding.
I love cats.
Our dog is running around right now going, hey, it's almost time for love.
Yeah, she's a Husky Shepherd mix. Big puppy.
She's a big puppy. So
Beautiful dog.
You might have seen her on the video today.
Yeah.
It was
like a cream color.
No. It was different video. Here, you know what? It's literally. Oh, you can't see it right now.
You have to play it afterwards.
But I'll play it afterwards, and we'll end it on the night, and you can watch it. Here's what I will say. I'm gonna tell you three things of why I am not loyal, because I'm not devoted to a man. I don't idolize Trump. He's not my leader. In fact, there's no politician who's my leader. My leader is a co-opted leadership with my wife, and my squad are my children. And my leader, from a spiritual and metaphysical and anatomical sense, is Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'll tell you this. I was on the tarmac when Air Force One came in, and a good friend of mine, Force Recon Marine, who was a double amputee, an African-American gentleman, in a wheelchair, and had his short prosthetics on. And Donald Trump came off Air Force One and promptly saluted and shook the officers' hands that were there, and walked over and saw the press as they tried to flash. And he saw my good friend, and I still haven't given a name, and one day I'm going to try to get him on. And Donald Trump came over, saw him, knelt down as best that Donald Trump can, because he's a big frickin' dude, put his hand in his hands and held it with like a arm wrestling grip, and held his hand fiercely, and put his hand on the back of his neck and touched his forehead to the man. I don't know, and I don't know what he said, and I never asked. He didn't do it.
They
in front
need
of,
to show
no
more moments.
He
like
wouldn't
that,
let. He wouldn't let them. He waved the reporters off. Secret Service made a wall and let him have that moment, and he didn't want anyone to see it. Second thing Donald Trump did is that when I came out of the military, was horribly beat up and injured, and my disability was pretty rough, and the U.S. government taxed it 50%. They took my medical severance. It's against the law. It's illegal to do. They only did it to me. They did it to hundreds of thousands of veterans. And for over 23, 22 years, that money was stolen from me and never given back. And one day, Olivia and I were in Texas when we just needed a little bit of money, to be honest with you. And Olivia, what did you get in the mail, honey?
I got a letter stating that all veterans from this year to this year, anyone who received a severance was getting it back plus interest dated back to the time they left the military.
And
it was interest on today's income as opposed to when it was.
It was a
when he
compounded interest from the date. And it was literally the most single largest group of money that I've seen outside of stock that I've ever had. And I didn't ask for it. He didn't put it in the paper. It wasn't released. And hundreds of thousands of vets got their severance money back without anyone asking. And the third reason that I love the man, and it is a love, is that they started after him the moment he came down that escalator. You had people like Stephen Colbert and Dave Letterman say they would write checks to his campaign because he thought they were going to split the Republican vote. So they pushed Donald Trump forward. They all wanted him. Every liberal, every late night show, every pundit, CNN, MSNBC, go back and roll the tape. He was their go-to because he thought he was going to be the Ross Perot and was going to split the vote. And then they started listening to him. And he started talking about right to life. And he started talking about securing borders. And he talked about our military. He talked about education. He talked about family values. And they got scared. And then Obama put spies in his campaign. And they wiretapped his office. They wrote Steele dossiers coming from the DNC that said that he went to Russia and had pee put on him by prostitutes. They desanctified the man. They stole his integrity. They tried to steal his life. They tried to steal his freedom. The man was impeached twice for a phone call that was never recorded. You've never heard that phone call. The reason why is that the transcription did not, the audio recording did not work at that time, so they did a physical transcription. And it was done 3 hours after the call. The same thing Joe Biden did. The same thing he did to Afghanistan and the president of Afghanistan when he said, if you don't do what we ask, we're going to go ahead and pull air support and intelligence and satellite surveillance. That's called quid pro quo as also. When he went to Burisma and said that I'm going to take $1 billion away if you don't fire the prosecutor who's investigating my son. He said it on national TV. He's been investigated, $47 million with a Mueller investigation that came back that he did nothing wrong. But they went ahead and got 14 people who he knew and went back 2 decades in some cases to find something, anything in an investigation that turned up nothing. I'm almost done. They went ahead and 97 charges, indicted him, 97 felony charges. 34 of those were the ones he was convicted on, were all the same charge, but on different lines on a spreadsheet. And all because it was a clerical error. They said Mar-a-Lago was worth, what, $14 million? Mar-a-Lago just had a property evaluation at $140 million, and they went after for bank fraud when there was nobody who was damaged. He had 17 TSI folders for security information, classified information that were done from daily briefs. Nothing wrong. Thousands of documents they said that they had were newspapers, were umbrellas, were golf balls and swag, and a lot of photographs and magazine clippings. I went through the FBI inventory report and we released it on this show first back in February because we got an early copy of it. And then June, they raided him after they said as long as he locked it up, it would be okay. Ma'am, I respect you. I am not a typical conservative. I am a consumer of knowledge. I am a person who states facts, and I state them clearly and articulately. Everything I've just told you is 100% true. And when they couldn't get him and break him financially with E. Jean Carroll, who had no specific facts for something that probably did happen, but not the way she said, they tried to charge him with rape. And the judge couldn't say it was rape. So he went ahead and said it was sexual misconduct, and then went ahead and said it was rape after everybody went home. And then they hit him with a penalty for almost $100 million for a civil suit. And when they couldn't do that, they tried to kill him. Do you think maybe, just maybe, that Donald Trump and the person that he is not because this is who he really is? It's because the media and the left made him that way.
I do believe the media can falsely portray people.
Good for you.
I will say that. And I'll have to do more thinking and everything, but I am willing to do my research, and you gave me a lot to think about.
You've given me a lot to think about, and I appreciate you. And I wasn't trying to overload you. I just want you to understand is that there's another side to this story, as there always is. And he's not perfect. He's a sanctimonious prick. He's a womanizer. He's cheated on 3 of his wives. We know that he has moral, but you know what? Something happened in 2020 that you guys, or excuse me, it's happened in Butler in 2023 that you guys missed. That man came an inch. He was almost Charlie Kirk, and I really do believe it changed him. There's a difference in him, and I just wish people would just give him one iota of credit, just one little thing. It's kind of nice not having the illegal immigration, having 20 million people coming across our border. I think everyone agrees on that. Can we just?
I do.
All right. Susie, you get the last minute. It's all yours. You get 1 minute, all to you, and I'm going to shut the hell up because I went on forever. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, if people would open dialogue and talk calmly like you did, we'd get better understanding of each other and the way of how we feel. If you know what I mean.
I do. I really do.
And that's what I'm just trying to do. On the left site and on the right sites, I'm just trying to open dialogue and get people to stop hating each other and calling each other demons for believing something they don't believe in. Because it's just wrong. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you hate them. I'm sorry.
I don't think people are demons because when people say horrible things about Charlie Kirk, I have a different opinion. I don't think they are demons. I think they have demons and they don't know how to cope with them. So they project onto other people because they don't have love in their life. They don't have laughter in their life. And those people deserve love because that's what the book calls for. I agree. That's what we're supposed to do. But you know what? Occasionally you got to pick up the flaming sword. I'm just saying. And I swing that sword pretty farkin' hard, Susie. I'm just letting you know.
I try to work through love and comedy. I don't like fighting. I don't like confrontation. I try to be peaceful.
Well, thank you. Damani's going to be on next week. Will you call in when Damani's here? Because I think he would love to say hello to you. He's a really fun guy to talk to.
Okay. It took a lot to call in and talk.
You did great, though. Do you know how well you did? You did.
No.
You did. Listen to me. I've been doing this a while, and you're the most level-headed. You're not a Democrat. You're not a Republican. You have a higher value in the hierarchy of needs. You've eclipsed Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You found security. You found protection. You found love. And then after that really is kind of that utopia that you reach as a human being. I think you're looking and you're seeing things and you're disappointed in people. And I feel the same way.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being respectful and listening to me and all that.
All right. Well, everyone's saying you did a good job in chat, so make sure you stick around, okay?
Yes. Thank you, Susie.
Okay, thanks.
All right. God bless, Susie. Thank you so much for calling. All righty. Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, I love these calls. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what I've wanted for 5 years. Jennifer McCarver donated $50. I can finally donate again. Woohoo. Love you both so much. Thank you for giving us this amazing show. No, thank you guys for making it amazing. Folks, we have 170 to go. We need a huge one. Listen, I've 5 years, Liv. Like, this is what Don't Unfriend Me was supposed to be. It was supposed to. And listen, we can cuss at each other. We saw that with Scott the other night. Scott and I went off on each other. And then we found a way to come back to it. And this is the way it should be.
Yes.
Wasn't Michelle fun?
Yeah, I loved her. I want her back.
She's amazing.
She needs to come back for a regular show. She was awesome.
Mr. Holliday.
I love her like spunk.
Matt, no more jokes, just going to keep it all biz. You're such a dick. $10.80. Yeah, no, it was fun, man. I think Susie did a great job. It's hard to come in here, but you can still say the things that we just said, but you can say it with respect, right? Like, it's okay to ask permission. It's okay to, she did great. I hope she calls in. And I love the previous call too. I love it when people call in. I want to show you that video. I promised I would show it to you. What do we got there, Mama?
Jonathan Whiten, speaking the truth, my dad was telling me back then $100. Thank you very much,
Jonathan, thanks
sir.
so much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but Ash is in it, and it's pretty freaking funny.
Oh my gosh. She's a natural. Second time on camera, and she's like perfect.
You did a great job tonight. You supported so much with the questions, and I know it's hard sometimes to do that, but
I'm not an interviewer, and I know that. I don't interview people.
You know what? You are great. Second time with Mandy and Jack, you were chiming. So I think you got to get comfortable with people, and then you do it. We have a new background. Do you like the flag?
Yeah. I think yes.
Okay.
I think it's when it comes to like interviewing somebody, I don't do well, but when it's just on the show and talking and stuff, that's a different story.
Yeah. Jack says, I'm going to be honest with the circle. If I see people being openly aggressive, I troll them pretty hard. Dude, you've obviously never seen me outside the show. I am a troll of epic proportions. I go off on people. And I don't cuss. I don't call them names. I try not to insult them. I just give them the truth. And anyone who is nervous about calling, Susie, thank you for calling. I'm so this is one of my favorite conversations I've had with a person. And I know I talked a lot, but the next time I know you're going to be chatty Cathy. I want people to not be afraid of politics, because politics is a beautiful thing. It really is. And it's just been hijacked by these scum-sucking douchebags. I love our country. I love civics. I love history. Last night, Olivia will tell you, my daughter came to me. JD Stillwell donated $67. I'll miss tomorrow, so the kids would say 6-7. Love to all the tummies.
Everyone's going to start doing lingo. It's hilarious.
JD, you're funny. I love you, buddy. So you can ask my wife. My daughter came to me. She's in AP World History, which is like hard.
She's college world history.
It's college world history. And she had like 70 vocabulary topics and like 4 major things. And what happened?
We got off the show. It was 10:30 and come out. And Hayden goes, I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, I need help with homework. I'm like, okay, what subject? She goes, world history. I'm like, that's your father. Go get him. I'm like, I can't. And we sat down. And I sat there and listened and chilled, and they talked for a good hour plus. We sat out there till about 11:45, and he helping her with homework.
My daughter is incredibly smart. Her dad's pretty bright, but she's very good. And it was a great conversation. I mean, we were talking about the Silk Road. We were talking about Barbary pirates. We were talking about the Aztecs and the Incans. We were talking about South American exploration tied in with Chinese exploration, the growth of South America and China and Europe, and why it was important to the world. We talked about everything.
She did her essay today.
I know.
Did
and
she tell you what
did
it was
on the
on?
bubonic plague. Yeah.
Yep.
So
she was the one I was hoping
we
for.
We talked about the plague. We talked about monotheistic and polytheism. We talked about Bushidoism with Japan. It was great. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, I fucking love this, because I love this. I mean, I love world history.
Ironically, Ethan's in honors history this year too.
Well,
Both our kids
but
are
we've
in.
talked about it since. I mean, Hayden could recite the Bill of Rights, every single part of the Bill of Rights, not just freedom of speech. She could actually talk about assembly. She could talk about right to protest. She could talk about freedom of religion, freedom of the press. And she was able to talk about this because I constantly made sure that they found value in it. And this is them. It's not me, it's them. But it was so awesome to sit there and be a teacher for my daughter. And she actually listened. Like, she was like sitting there, like absorbing it. And I'm breaking it down for what?
She was writing notes, and
it was great. Here's the video for you. You guys got to watch this. This is Ash and I. I was just out for a walk on the property, just walking around. This is what I was thinking. And then this is what happened. Watch this.
Hey, just to make sure I understand, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris can call us Nazis, deplorables, fascists, white supremacists, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic. Jimmy Kimmel lies on TV about Republicans and how the shooter was a Republican, and he gets fired. What happens to those politicians who said all those things? Ash and I want to know, as she tells you what she thinks as she takes a dookie. Great timing, dog. That should go viral.
if you don't get out and make that video go viral, I mean, do you understand? You could pay an advertiser millions of dollars and not get a timing shot of your dog taking a crap when you're talking about.
Did you watch for any bombs out there while you were walking? You
Of
weren't
course I
looking
did.
down.
No, because I go out there and I walk with her, and we walk the property, and we like walking the tree line together, and she like runs in and out between my legs on the tree line, and she sniffs it out. Like she's got like potential for some, like she's more German Shepherd than anything. She's a working dog. And whenever I grab that firearm and this firearm comes out, she's ready to rock and roll. And she's right with me. And so when I go out on that property, she will not go first. She lets me go and she watches. And she watches at the top of the stairs and looks and scans the yard. And then I go to the platform and she comes down. Then I walk down and she scans the yard, and then she cuts right in front of me, and she checks all points. She's ridiculous. She's an amazing dog. Anyway, just an incredible dog. We hit goal.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna push the topics till tomorrow?
Yeah, we've had some late nights. I think we can have. I mean, we got a lot of people on. Dude, Facebook is starting to fire off. Twitter's only at 54. So, and YouTube is good. And Facebook is getting consistent, which is great. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about Jimmy Kimmel real quick?
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm not going to give Mike Lynch any more compliments. I've already given him compliments. He was great when he was on the show. It's just, it's hard to be on the show. It is. It takes a lot. Here's the thing. Can you guys do me a favor, please? And when you get out there and you're talking about Jimmy Kimmel, stop talking about what he said about Charlie Kirk. He has a right to say that. He's an asshole, but that's freedom of speech. Now listen to me here. Listen to me, please. Please, please, please. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your reverend. Okay? But listen to me. You're arguing the wrong points. Fox News is arguing the wrong points. Everybody's like what he said about Charlie. Even President Trump and the FCC, what he said about Charlie, what he said about Charlie. I don't care what he said. I'm going to say something. I want you to listen to me. Listen, get your ears on. And don't react. Don't get all, oh my God, I can't believe Matt said this. He's a horrible fucking person. Listen to me. I have a morbid sense of humor. And I told Liv about this tonight. Do you know what the left are doing? They've written a comic. And it's drawn comic. And Charlie is going, and it's in his death pose. And the tagline says, just listen to me. Don't react. Just relax. It says, in his final moments, Charlie Kirk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Love you. It says, in his final moments, Charlie Kirk finally leaned left. Now, it's tasteless. It's cruel. It's mean. But also creative. And if it wasn't Charlie Kirk and it was removed by 10 years and you could make the correlation to somebody who you did not like and probably despise and never want to wish them harm, you may have seen it and been like, that's freedom of speech. I didn't laugh. I just was like, that's a pretty good stinger. A person doesn't deserve to lose their job for the rest of life because comedy and humor suck sometimes. And some people use humor to cope and get through it, and some people use it to harm people. But it doesn't deserve to be canceled and fired. It does not. Jimmy Kimmel did not deserve to be fired in 2015. He did not deserve to be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and even yesterday because he said stupid shit. Because he It's not that he said stupid shit, and it's not that he wasn't funny, because those things are true. This is why he deserved to be fired, and listen to me. Listen to me. He lied. He stood on public TV where he has a contract with the FCC, and the federal government oversees those contractual obligations. He put people in danger, he spread a false narrative, and he went against the propaganda rule. You cannot sit up there and deliver in a serious tone and a serious take without imposing a level of humor to it, which he did not, and said that the MAGA gang, that the killer was one of ours. That's what he said. That's why he fucking deserved to be fired, because he's a liar. And I am happy he's fired, because that man, that's not the first time he's lied. He's been lying since 2015 when Donald Trump came down the escalator. He's a propagandist. It's state-run propaganda. It's state-funded propaganda, because the the Biden campaign put money in his pocket. We know they did. So when we argue the point, it's okay to say, I don't like what he said about Charlie, and I don't find him funny, and I think it's tasteless. All those things are fine, but it's still freedom of speech. He deserved to be fired because he lied. That's why. They have the absolute right to fire him based upon the advertisers, their company laws, bylaws, and the obligations that they have under the FCC on public television. It's public. That's the difference between Fox. That's the difference between CNN. It's the difference between a political pundit coming on a show. It's public TV. They have different rules and regulations. He's fired. Dude, you don't come back from a suspension like this. He's done. They cancel his show. It's over. He's gone. They're going to wait, but he's fired. No. Sandy, there's a difference between saying stupid shit and lying. He went up there and he discredited and he tried to put the blame on the right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if somebody went up and blamed the death of Gandhi on his people? Can you imagine if someone tried to turn around and blame the constituents of England and blamed them for Princess Di's death, and not the media, and not the crown? There are some things you don't say and you don't do, because that is you're telling millions of people blatant lies. And it's going to create more vindictive nature, more vitriol, more abhorrent behavior. He lied. All right, who we calling? Who we talking to?
This is me, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what you're talking about? Yeah.
We're talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and we're talking about him being fired.
Him being fired.
Okay. Do you have something to say about it, or?
Yeah, I'm actually okay with him being fired, because if you look back through everything that's been done to free speech and everything, they've been kind of crucifying the other side for years.
Right. So does it make it okay, though, to do the same to them, considering that we're free speech enthusiasts and we're supposed to love the Constitution and even hate speech?
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Hate speech is still hate speech. We do have the First Amendment right, but the problem is it's starting to boil down to a point where you're seeing moral versus immoral of certain people are actually looking to it as, hooray, glad that person is dead.
Right.
It's like, really?
Right. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's really effed up. But at the same time, go back a couple of years and decades, you're going to see that they've been trying to do this to anybody that ever spoke out and saying, this is bad, this is wrong, this and this and that. And you're like,
right.
I mean,
See, but Johnny, can I chime in here? Like, I'm getting people like Deborah, I love you. You know that. But Deborah's like, well, they banned us on social media. You don't have right to free speech on social media. You have a terms and conditions. You sign your rights away.
Yeah, there's a TOS.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no right for you to have free speech on social media. Yes, and they've silenced me too, but that's not what I'm saying. All censorship is wrong. All censorship.
Yeah,
what they did to us, what they have done to us 1,000,000 times over, what they've done to us is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not okay now that they do it. It's wrong because we're like free speech. And now we're like, oh, well, you can't do that. That's hate speech. Bullshit. There's no such thing as hate speech because it's protected under the Constitution of the United States. You can hate all you want. You have no right to control somebody's feelings. You have no right. They can say whatever the fuck they want. The moment that they act on it, the moment that they commit violence, and try to impede your rights, that's we already have laws for that. Hate speech does nothing to help or de-incentivize somebody from doing it. We have laws, libel, slander, assault.
Oh yeah.
That is what we do. And Jimmy Kimmel broke the laws of his company. They broke the laws of the FCC. And it was such a gross violation. He was going to come out and say that it was a misunderstanding and he was misconstrued. He would not apologize. And they said, you were either going to apologize or you're going to pay the price. And he would not. So they fired him for it.
Exactly. That's no excuse.
We're done.
Never.
No more. We're done.
Exactly.
So, Scott, Johnny, I appreciate you calling, buddy. What else? Wrap us up for 1 minute because I got other callers and I got a couple other things I got to talk about. What else we got tonight?
I mean, look at the whole picture and stuff like that. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, boo-hoo, Jimmy Kimmel got canceled." I mean,
he wasn't canceled.
Barr,
he wasn't canceled, though.
He
wasn't canceled, though. He was fired.
Well, not canceled, but fired.
He was fired. Yeah. That's it. He was fired. And the FCC had every right to put pressure on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Every right. That's their job. That's what the FCC does.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Okay. So there we go.
I'm not arguing with you.
No, I know. I'm yelling so people can hear.
Okay.
I'm talking to the audience. I'm not yelling at you. I'm agreeing with you, and I'm doing it from a place of severe passion because this has nothing to do with cancel culture. This is we're celebrating it and are happy it's happening. But it's amazing, isn't it, that a man can be killed for his opinion but can't be fired for it?
Oh yeah, it blows your mind. It's like, really? We're talking about the same thing, but this person, no. No.
It's over.
No.
It's over. He's gone.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Go on Netflix and get a couple $1 million.